Welcome, welcome. I hope everybody had an awesome Thanksgiving. I don't know about you guys, but Thanksgiving is literally my absolute favorite holiday of the year. Now that I have grandchildren and older children, I stick my stake in the ground. This is my holiday. Everybody's got to come to my house on Thanksgiving. So I'm so glad to see everybody today. Guys, as you're popping on, go ahead and turn those cameras on. Listen, when we do these types of trainings, this is not meant for me to just sit here and spout out information. I always feel like the best way to learn is to actually talk about deals and answer your guys' question, because here at DealDriven, we give you the tools necessary to really spark that real estate investing career, take it to the next level, and utilize this information no matter what your exit strategy is. So if you would, in the chat, guys, let me know where you're calling in from. I'm from a little town in Dawsonville, Georgia, which is about an hour north of Atlanta. It's very close to my house, just a small office here that I'm calling out of. Oh, we got Denver, Colorado, Tampa, Florida, Mississippi Gulf Coast. I love that. Augusta, Georgia, Raleigh, North Carolina. So the beautiful thing about DealDriven is it doesn't matter where you are in the United States. We got Kansas coming in. You can utilize DealDriven no matter where you are to find your next deals. So with a show of hands, who in here is a wholesaler? Fix and flipper. Maybe create a financing deal specialist. I would like to show every one of you how you can find your next deal or your first deal utilizing the DealDriven software. So let's go ahead and get started. So my name is Julie Muse. I've been a real estate investor for about 12 years now. I've closed around, I don't know, 1,700 real estate transactions. I am not a licensed agent and or broker. I'm just a girl from Georgia that found real estate as my path to success. It gave me the freedom, the lifestyle that I've always dreamed of. And let's be honest, I love working with people, right? So for me, as a real estate investor, my goal is to help others with their real estate problems. Okay. Mind you, you did not hear me say personal problems, your real estate problems. So one tip of advice when you're ever talking to a seller, always blame issues on the house. Okay. There's lots of things going on with the economy right now, especially when it comes to pre-foreclosures and foreclosures coming up. They've almost tripled since the beginning of the year. This should really pull at your heartstrings with just how many Americans right now are facing a situation where they're going to lose their home. And in a foreclosure situation, when you lose your home, it goes on your credit report for 7 years. And as investors, we can come in and buy their home prior to them losing it back to the bank, put a little bit of money in their pocket, as well as get them on to the next stage of their life in a better position. So what I want everybody to know is we're welcome to ask any questions that you have. If you look at the bottom of this screen, you'll see something called reactions. If you click that reactions button, you'll be able to raise your hand. So if anybody has any questions, I would love to answer those. But what I would like to start doing is working with somebody right now so I can show you exactly what I would do if I was in your marketplace. What are some of the things you should be looking for? Would anybody like to volunteer and let me show you what I would do if I walked in to your city, your town, and where I would start marketing if I was in that area? Go ahead and raise that Zoom hand. All right, Dawn, I'm going to go ahead. I see you raising your physical hand, which is fine. Where did you go, Dawn? Go ahead and just unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hey, Dawn, so where are you from?
Augusta.
Oh, Augusta, Georgia. Love it, love it. All right. So first thing is I'm actually already logged into DealDriven. So looking here, I have several options. Number one, I can look up an individual property address, or I can start pulling a list. So right now, what I would like to show you, Dawn, is if I was to go to Augusta, which I don't invest in Augusta right now, I'm more North Georgia, what are some of the things I'd be looking for? So we're going to actually pull a list there in Augusta, and I want y'all to just see what's out there. So number one, I'm going to go to the search for property leads nationwide using a search filter. Once I'm here, I'm going to enter a location. Okay. So she is in Augusta, Georgia. So I'm going to pick as a location, Augusta, Georgia. Now from here, what it's doing is it's saying, okay, I found a location. You could either enter a city, an entire state, a zip code, whatever you want. Now, for me, when I'm looking, you're going to see Augusta's a pretty decent sized town, right? So I can look at just from the city center of Augusta or from any town, or I can expand my search wider than just the city center, or I could draw a polygon. So I'm actually going to draw a polygon here. If you guys will notice, Augusta sits on the Georgia, South Carolina border. So with a polygon search, you can actually draw an area that maybe I would want to do some investing in. Okay. So you could draw a polygon search and say, I want everything in this particular area. For those of you that don't want to be in certain areas, this could be good for that. Okay. Or we could do the circle search. So I'm going to go 20 miles around the city center of Augusta, Georgia. Next, we need to pick out what type of properties are we looking for.
The thing about the polygram, what you were doing is from the city center, it's going to pull in North Augusta and South Carolina too. So if you're wanting to do just Augusta, then the polygon is where you go. Because the right at the city center is going to pull in North Augusta and South Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
so it depends, I guess, where you want to go. If you want to stay just Augusta, then polygon, the polygon is just perfect.
Okay. We'll just do that then.
Yeah.
Pull this out. Just get this south side here, Forest Hills. That looks like a decent area.
Yeah, it is.
And pull down. So either way, depending on what you're looking to do here, it'll pull anything inside of that search area. Okay. So now you don't want to arbitrarily, as a real estate investor, would you guys find it good to just call everybody that owns a house? Absolutely not. We're looking for a motivated seller, someone that there's something about the property that leads you to believe that they might be wanting to sell. So as someone that's in pre-foreclosure, they're about to lose their home back to the bank. Do you think they might need to sell their house? Absolutely. So I want to pick all of the pre-foreclosures in that polygon. For her, we're looking at about 43 there. Then I'm going to go and choose some more filters. We want to look at, let's say, single family homes, townhome, condos, duplex, triplexes, quads. You're not going to find a row house in Augusta, Georgia. You might find that like Pennsylvania or somewhere up north, but not here. And I may want to look at equity. So if you're a fix and flipper, you may want to look for properties that only have equity. Now, let's say you're more into doing like a subject to, where you're taking over someone's mortgage payment. You may not care if they have equity or not, but you're able to choose that. So that went down from 44 to 35. Okay. So very easily here, I want to go and find all 35 of these people inside the polygon that are in pre-foreclosure They have at least 35% equity or more in their home. Remember, equity is the difference between what someone owes in their mortgage and what the property is worth. So if you're flipping a house, the equity is going to be the spread where you make money. Okay. So I've curated this list of 35. I'm going to select all of these and I'm going to add them to a list. I'm going to call this list pre-4 Augusta. And usually I like to date mine because every month new foreclosures come out. So January of next year, I'm going to want to pull all the pre-foreclosures again. And the reason for that is because more and more come out every month. Then I'm going to go to my list here. Once I've curated the list, bam. Literally in just a matter of seconds, used to back in the day, I'd have to go to the courthouse, find all the list pendants. List pendants is just a lawsuit that is filed from the lien holder, and then go through all the tax records to get all this information. Now you're able to see this right here and there. So let's go look at a couple of these properties. This one here on Tanglewood Drive, for instance. This one, it's saying this property's worth about 193. The valuation is kind of its idea of what the property is worth. Generally, if you see this number above 85, this one's a 96, it's going to be pretty close on what the property is worth. Obviously, the only thing that's not known is there's no way tax records or any service knows what the condition of the home is. So the true comparables or valuations really can't be determined unless you know what the condition of the home is. We'll just say that we're close on this one if it doesn't need any major repairs. We know it's 1,600 square feet, built in 1956. It does have a list pendants filed. They are in pre-foreclosure. So from here, I can pull comparables and look for other properties that have sold in this area, literally ones within the same neighborhood. So when I'm pulling a comparable, I would want to look at things that are in the same neighborhood. Here's one on Tanglewood Drive, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,520 square feet. You could see that right here, 0.25. Would you guys say this is pretty comparable to our home here?
Yes.
Because our subject property is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with 1,620 square foot. So ours is even 100 square foot larger. Here's another one, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,800 square feet. Here's where you want to watch this. This one sold for 240,000. But if you'll notice, it is actually a bigger floor plan than what our comparable home is. Now, here's what's important. You can always go here anytime and do what's called a skip trace. A skip trace is the act of getting someone's phone number and possibly their email address so that you can contact them. So I want to do that on this particular property and see if we come up with anything. So there was no information for that one. That's okay. You can actually sort this by going and skip tracing all of these at one time to find their phone number and email address. And very quickly, it'll come back and give you that information. So it's looking for those right now. This is how you're going to communicate a lot of times with a seller. You might send them a letter, you might give them a call, you might email them. So now you'll notice that these ones have turned green. So we do have 3 phone numbers for this property, 2 email addresses for this property. All of these down the line. So right there, I'll tell you guys, everyone should pull a pre-foreclosure list in your area. Is that some of the hottest leads that you'll ever find in your area? Dawn, have you been pulling your properties there? You're starting to?
Yeah. I just signed up for the trial. So like, been playing around with it a little bit, and yeah, pre-foreclosure and vacant.
Perfect, perfect. So I'll tell you, there's lots of other lists. Let's get into some questions, guys, because I want to make sure I'm answering all your questions. I've done most every type of deal type known to man, and I'll give you the best advice that I possibly can. Mr. McNair, I believe, if you would, he raised his Zoom hand. If you guys can do that, then I'll be able to answer anything you might have.
Hey, Julie.
What's up, buddy?
Hi. I'm trying to go back to Oh, I know what I do. I need to go to home. Okay. So I go to search for property nationwide. Okay. I just did a free trace, but I didn't add foreclosed. So I had to do another search for foreclosed.
Yeah, so you didn't, so you went to here to where you went to look for your area, right?
Yes.
What's your city?
Goshen, Mississippi.
Gaucher.
Gautier.
Mississippi?
Yes.
You know how I know it's spelled like that? One of my family's members, last name is Gaucher,
Okay.
and they're from Louisiana, so.
Yeah,
nothing-
it's French.
nothing's ever spelled like it sounds in Louisiana.
Correct. It's French. Gaucher is French. Everybody think it's spelled Gartier.
No, I told everybody, I said, oh, it's Gaither. And they're like, no, you were
Yeah, I hear that.
All right, so I'm going to pull
So-
the pre-foreclosure by pressing this button here.
Let me switch my. I'm right here.
I'm not going to be able to see your screen, but if you'll look at mine, you go to pre-foreclosures.
Well, I'm stuck on my list that I just So I
Okay,
go back to home.
go back to home, the little home button on the top left.
Home button. Okay. Search for proper lead and nationwide using search filter. Correct.
Uh-huh.
When I go there, it got my search result from the last search. Redefine this search, huh?
Right here where it says clear this search, you should, and guys, this is good advice to anyone. When you're going back and forth through different searches, always clear the search prior to that.
It don't give me the option for that on my page.
Are you seeing inner search center point?
No, it's it got the back arrow to search results, redefine this search, save search filter, and a list of property.
Okay, so you're just going to go home and you're going to go search here, and it's going to take you right to the screen. Maybe play around with it for a second. All right.
It's still going back to that. It's still going back to that.
Okay,
Let me
maybe
see, can I-
press your screen like this.
Okay, here I go. I think so. I'm gonna click off vacancies and out of town and just do pre-closure,
Yes.
pre-foreclosure.
So where you are right now is you're on the second part of this screen under select search type. This is where you are right now. Do you see over here where it says 1? Go to this one.
No, I don't bypass that. I'm on the page where it said select one or more search type to suit your need. I just clicked on foreclosure.
Okay.
Continue to add filters.
Yeah, make sure you have a 20-mile search radius. Pre-foreclosure, then add additional filters. You could pick your single family homes. You could do land if you were a land investor. You could go to equity and look at 35% equity or more.
That's what I got. And I'm gonna say show results.
Do you see 99?
73.
Okay. All right, go ahead and show results. And then from here,
I got the list now. So now I can add, select,
to list.
record first. First I record, correct?
Yeah, first you click all of the records, all of 99 of these.
Then add to the list, and I'm gonna name the list. new list.
Perfect. And
Okay.
my
Thank
suggestion
you.
is date it because you're going to want to look
That's what
at
I'm gonna
this
do.
again
I'm
in
gonna do that.
January. Okay.
I'm gonna put foreclosed 12/1/2022.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jude.
Yes, absolutely. You know, a lot of us sometimes we wonder, does anybody ever wonder where is the best area in my area to invest in real estate? Or if I'm a wholesaler, where are the best buyers? Does everybody wanted to know how to figure that out? I could show you by using the app how you can look at your area and you can quickly know exactly what the best area is where you live. You guys are shy as anything. Y'all can ask as many questions as you want. I will look up these in the chat.
So
Go ahead.
Julie, I have a question
Okay.
in reference to, and this is Kevin Randolph. I'm in Columbus, Ohio. But
Okay.
I have a question in reference to the exchanges or the wholesales. Is there any specific verbiage that needs to be on the contract if you plan on assigning that contract or wholesaling that contract? And what is that? What is that verbiage?
Okay. So, when you're going to be doing and you know your intentions to wholesale, there's two major things on a contract you have to have. One is this contract is fully assignable. And then also, there's got to be a marketing clause so that the seller is allowing you to pre-market the property. Maybe turn your screen off because I can't hear you, man.
Okay, that's in the contract, correct?
I don't know what contract you have. But it's in the purchase contract that can be purchased here at Partner Driven. Now, I will say, when you're wholesaling a deal, let me explain to everybody kind of what that is. Would that be helpful? Okay. So essentially, you're putting a property under contract for a certain price. Because you have it under contract, you have what's called equitable interest in the contract. Because you have it under contract. This contract gives you the right to assign it and for you to pre-market the property. Now, here's where you've got to be careful. A lot of people that are wholesaling contracts will say, I'm selling this house, right? I have it under contract. I've got this house to sell and to a back-end buyer. Only licensed real estate agents and or brokers can sell houses that are somebody else's, right? So what you're doing is you're selling your equitable interest that you have in the property because you have it under contract. So the idea is that you get this property under contract, you find a buyer that's willing to pay more than what you have it under contract for, and you essentially make your money off of what's called an assignment fee. Okay. So let's say I put a property under contract for $100,000. I found a back-end buyer that said, you know what? I'll pay $107,000 for it. Your assignment fee in that is $7,000. That's your assignment fee. That's how a traditional wholesale deal works. Hope everybody found that helpful. Million?
Yes, that was very helpful, Julie. The question I had specifically is when I am signing that contract, and just so that you know, I mean, my level of expertise might be a little bit more than some others because I am a licensed broker in the state of Georgia. But however, I live in Ohio, right? So obviously I can't do anything here in Ohio. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So I'm familiar with assignments as we used to call them. Now we call it wholesaling. The only question I have is there specific verbiage that needs to go where I sign? And
Okay,
also, and also
what purchase and sell agreement are you using?
yours.
Okay, then yes, it's already in there. On the first line, it
Uh-huh.
said this contract is fully assignable. You'll see that right below the price.
Okay.
Do you see that?
I don't have it in front of me right now, but
Okay.
I will see it once
And
I
then
get once I get back to it.
I believe number 13 is your marketing clause.
Okay.
And by the way, you could still do this in Ohio. You just have to double close, man.
Okay, now talk to me about this double closing. I've heard you say this about 10 times now. What are you talking about when you say double closing?
Okay, so generally on an assignment, right? Or a wholesale deal, however you want to do it. An assignment fee is a line item on the settlement statement when you go to close, just like if you were a real estate agent making commission. Okay. There's one closing. The buyer pays you. An assignment fee is that you're just an item on the settlement statement making money. Now, if you cannot do an assignment, you close on the property, let's say at 10 o'clock in the morning. And then you might to purchase the property. And then maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you close with your end buyer. So you take title, turn around, sell it to the end buyer. Generally, in a transaction like that, you're going to have to get transactional funds. Transactional funds are only funds that maybe are needed for one day. Sometimes, if you're good, Kevin, you can talk to your title agency and or attorney. They might use funds from the back end closing to fund your first buy, but they're not probably going to do that unless you have a good relationship with them.
Right.
Does that make sense?
That does make sense. Next question. Transactional funding. Do you have a list of transactional funders?
No, I don't. You're looking for private lenders. You can like literally Google transactional real estate deals. They might charge you, I don't know, 15, 20% of the profits on your deal, something like that.
Oh.
Now, I don't know, Kevin, if you're a partner at Partner Driven. This is
Okay.
DealDriven, but if you are a partner at Partner Driven, we provide those funds for our partners anyway.
I am a partner.
So
at
when
DealDriven.
you're a partner by using DealDriven, correct?
Yes.
Yep. So that's a piece of software.
I have.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
A lot of people use the software or in other programs too.
No, I mean, when you say a partner, I paid the money to become a partner. I'm not sure what are we speaking the same language or not? What are you talking about?
I think we're not. I'll catch you offline, Kevin. But if you're
Okay,
a partner at
okay.
Partner Driven, you don't have to worry about the money.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right. Thank you, Julie.
All right, Basil.
Yes, how you?
Good. You muted yourself back up again, buddy.
I said my name is Mr. I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, awesome.
I'm a real estate agent here. My question is, how do I do assignable when I'm writing the offer as an agent, or can I be an independent and do it without disclosing my real estate identity?
I cannot give you advice on what a licensed agent and or broker does. That would be your broker. However, I'll tell you, I don't believe as a real estate agent and or broker that you can do anything without disclosing that you are one.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I'll use the word wholesale. That is better. Wholesale.
Yes. So what brokerage are you with?
With the Realty Group here in Haram, Georgia.
Okay. That would be best to ask your broker, because your broker is going to either allow you to do it or not to do it, because he holds your E&O insurance.
Okay.
But I owned a real estate team in Atlanta. And generally the way around that is that you would partner with somebody that's not licensed.
Okay.
Or you could, there's nothing to say that you can't buy and sell a property if it's
Exactly.
licensed. There's
Yeah.
nothing that says that.
Yeah, I do it. No problem. Just do it.
But great question. Great question. Thank you. Million.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Follow-up question. How do I get involved on this, and what are the fees involved, and contact person?
Okay, well, I
and
will
list-
go
list of
over,
pro- list
I'll-
of properties.
I will go over that here at the end of the call.
Okay, sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
before we,
ahead of my
no,
head.
no, it's fine. We'll go over that. I want to take Million's question because she's so kind enough to raise her hand, her Zoom hand. And then that way we know who's next. Go ahead, Billion. I'm already calling you Billion instead of Million.
I'm okay with that. How you doing today, Julie? I'm
Good, how are you?
actually calling. Well, I'm actually, the question is, and before you said something about how to know what is the hottest areas to look for properties in your areas. Like I'm in LA, but I don't really know. I know everything is hot in LA right now, but I know it's a lot of people that is doing wholesaling and everything else. So say if I wanted to do an area like Simi Valley or something like that, how would I know if that's actually a hot area?
Okay, I'll show you.
Okay.
All right. So give me like what's the name of that city you said?
Simi Valley, SIMI Valley.
Okay, so this is going to take me to Simi Valley. Okay.
Okay. Mhm.
So everybody will notice on the left here, there's a legend. This orange color's pre-foreclosures, you got vacants, non-owner occupied. Non-owner occupied means somebody owns the property, but they do not live in the property that they own. Auction, cash buyers on the MLS, out-of-state owners, tax delinquents. So if you want to look at an area that a lot of investors purchase in, you're going to see lots of blue dots because they own property that they don't live in. Generally, you might see a lot of combination of dots like blue and green for cash buyers, or maybe even vacant.
Okay.
So to do that, I'm going to just literally drive around Simi Valley because I don't know this place, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to see how far I can go out. And you'll literally just start seeing areas that's got tons of blue dots in there. The thing you've got to be careful with like Los Angeles or some places is if you see a lot of blue dots, then it could be vacation rentals.
Okay.
Okay, like if it's on the beach, like if you were to look up Newport Beach, right?
Mm-hmm.
But here's a good area, this Fremont Ave. So this whole little area right here. Let's go take a look at this. This one has a blue dot. It is non-owner occupied, which tells me it's probably a rental house. So I'm going to go look here. And I'm going to go virtually look at this house. This is how cool, because you guys, you got to remember, I'm sitting in Georgia looking in Simi Valley where she is. So from here, I'm looking at the blue dots. I can literally drive down the road. I could tell you something right now. Do you see anything about this property that would make you call on this property?
Yes, the grass and the wall, I guess the gate or something like that.
Yeah, the landscapes over the top. There's lots of things. So I knew looking in that area, there were a lot of blue dots. So that tells me somebody owns these properties and are probably renting them out. But
Okay.
while I was in there, I'm looking at this one and it's just out of date, right? It's overgrown landscape. To me, it looks vacant. It could be, it could not be. It's a block house. People love block houses. It needs new windows, a new front door. But from here, I could press identify. Okay. So just by looking at this house, I would create a list and call it Simi Valley. And this is what you would call virtual driving for dollars, okay? Meaning you're driving for dollars and at home, not like literally going out and driving there, okay?
Right.
So I'm going to look at the details of this property. Okay,
Fine.
it's worth around 742,000.
Correct.
It's not in foreclosure of any type. It was last purchased in 5-3, which looks like a quick claim deed because of the names on there. It looks like affidavit of death. Okay, so to me, this looks like the father passed away or the mother passed away. And then
Okay.
Curtis got the deed in his name. So under document type right here, it says affidavit of death. So that meant that the child went into probate and got this house probated back over to them. Okay.
Okay.
So what I would do in this scenario, to me, this is a great find. Okay. So first thing is let's see if we can find Curtis Solomon's phone number. Don't know if we will. We'll definitely give it a try. Next thing I would do is look at the property photos. I'm gonna add a Google Street photo that's of this particular property, and I'm gonna show you why you might use that. So when I look at this, I want to crop this image down a little bit to where I only see this house in the image. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Now watch this. So once I've got this property, I'm going to make that my primary image. One way to get in touch with a seller is to send them a piece of mail, right? So I could go here to direct mail campaign. I might want to send them this particular card right here. Start mailer. Now, what I've done is I've already got my information saved inside of my app with my information. So to do that, you would go to my direct mail signatures. And here is where you would put your like phone number, your email address, your maybe even the logo of your company. But check this out. Give it just a second, and it's going to give you a preview of the piece of mail that you sent. So if you'll look right here, is everybody seeing this? It's a picture of their house sent to their house, right? If I wanted to market to them. So with a one click of a button and for $1, you can send this particular mail piece with a picture of the actual house on it. I may want to keep looking, keep driving down the road. You'll notice once I've added a property to my list, there's this little checkbox that comes up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we could go look at more properties here. And you could just keep driving down the road and see what's going on in this area. Or you could go back, search a whole entirely new area by looking for more blue dots, right? To signify that there's a lot of this type of stuff going on. Okay.
And Julie, what's the cost of the skip tracing through the DealDriven?
Okay, so it's 1/3 of a credit. Okay. Each credit costs $1. So around 33 cents. But the more credit that you buy at one time, the cheaper that the credits become.
Okay. All right, cool. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Julie, that is like super cool.
Yeah, it
I
really
need to
is.
know I need to know how to do that. I was following you, but when we talk offline, you're gonna have to walk me through that specifically because I want to be able to do that. I put together a couple lists over the last couple of days, and there's a couple properties that I would like to do that on. and I didn't know that feature was available. So
I mean,
That's
it's,
super cool.
there's all types of stuff that you can do. Cause really what you gotta think about is DealDriven has aggregated information all over the United States to put it into one spot so that you can find some of the best leads. So, all right, raise your Zoom hand. Let's get some questions going. All right, Maria, just unmute yourself. Hey, Maria, I can hear you now.
My name is Marla.
Oh, Marla, I'm sorry. My eyesight didn't work.
That's all right. That's an honest mistake. They think it's an I instead of an L. I have three problems. One of them is that I can't get to the bottom of my page on my computer. So I can't raise my Zoom
Okay.
hand.
Okay.
Another problem is that I've got a split screen here, and I've got lady eating a candy bar over here, and then barely anything when I see your what you have on the map or the teaching.
Okay.
I can't see that very well. And the third thing that I have is I have a virtual assistant who we signed up to do this too, so that she's got, we're doing a trial right now. We're in a trial.
Of
And
DealDriven.
yes.
Okay.
And she can't do anything on her end. They say she's not an active prescriber or something to that effect. So she can't do anything. How do we get her to be able to do something?
So if you're talking about DealDriven, right? Just the app.
Right.
Okay. Both you and her can't be logged in at the same time
Okay.
because it's
That's
a trial for one individual.
Okay, that's fine. So then in other words, she just needs to do her thing and I need to do my thing at different times?
Yes. Or
That-
have her sign up for a free trial. And then once the free trial is over, pay the $49.95 twice. Or don't be in there when she's working.
Okay. Okay, well, I think that explains it, I think. We hope.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what's going on is it's just, you're trying to log in on the same account in two different places. And it's like, wait a minute, we've only got one user here. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Okay. Can you tell me now how to get my screen up? I'm not a very good computer person. That's why I've got this friend.
Do you have an Apple or a PC?
The laptop.
Okay. I don't know that I could help you because I'm not there. Like, I don't know what you got going on over there.
I can see the very top of the microphone. And then there's a little arrow that goes up and then the stop video and
I'm gonna help you as much as I can real quick, but I just want to save this for questions for about DealDriven.
okay.
But essentially you'd be on your screen, right? And you're gonna hold it and move the whole thing. I've got an Apple product, but you can like put your mouse on it, hold it, and you can move that box.
Okay.
So that's the best that I'm gonna be able to do for you there.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Marla. I appreciate it. All right, Mr. McNair.
Question. The trial period and the ones that different with DealDriven. I don't have a trial period because I'm a partner. So I don't
Okay.
have to worry about the $49.99 per month, correct?
No, it's just that DealDriven is its own product. Partner Driven is a partnership program with like myself and Peter. We just so happen to use it. So this webinar is just for DealDriven users because we have users that are not partners. So when I say pay for skip traces, you don't have to. You get 1,000 a month and you don't have to have a free trial or anything like that.
Correct. That's for being a partner.
Yes.
And then you have people that not partners, what they consider are.
Well, there are customers at DealDriven.
Oh, okay. So they
There's-
got two sides of it.
Well, yes. So I do own the app, but I created it, but a lot of people use the app that aren't in certain like different programs.
Oh, okay. So as us being partners, we get that included.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that what I was, because that's kind of what convicted me. Because when I had forgot to sign up at first, it wanted to give me a free trial, so I had to go back to the deal support, so they send me another link.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, all right, that's what I need to know. Thank you.
Sounds good. Yes. All right. Doug Black.
Hey, Julie.
Hey.
Okay. Earlier you were talking about a double close in Ohio. Is that something unique to Ohio, or is that something that's prevalent everywhere?
You can do that everywhere. What you can do, you can't assign everywhere. You can double close everywhere.
But you don't necessarily want a double close.
You don't.
Right.
It's going to cost you more money.
Right.
But
But
like,
well,
let's
I
say-
was trying to understand the scenario in Ohio. That gentleman said that he had to do that in
Well,
order to get
because
the
he's
deal.
a licensed agent and his broker won't allow him to do an assignment.
Oh, I understand. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
So, but
Okay.
like somebody like you, if you're not licensed, you don't have a board telling you what you can and can't do.
I see. Okay. That makes sense.
Now, I will tell
Now-
you, in the state of Illinois, you can only assign one property a year. So after that one, you've got to double close, otherwise it's illegal.
Okay. And that's the only state that
Right now, I
has that
think
requirement?
Philadelphia, the city of Philadelphia is like that too, but it's starting to pick up in quite a few places.
Okay. And then my other question is there some kind of written instructions for this app?
Yeah.
I haven't really opened it up yet. So you just got to sit there and figure it out.
Go play with it, and that's what I'm here for every Thursday
Right.
at 2 to help walk everybody through everything.
Gotcha. Well, that's good to know. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, Donald.
Yes. So what are the like when I do my searches? So I do pre-foreclosure, 35% equity, or
Mm-hmm. That's one search.
what's another search I could do?
Okay, I've been waiting for this question all day, Donald. All right, are you seeing my screen?
I see it, yes.
All right. So I'm going to show you some of the hottest ones to do. And these are ones that I've actually done deals on this week from these type of searches, okay? Because I don't just teach this app, I use this to get real estate deals. What's your city?
My city?
Uh-huh.
Well, I live in Boston.
Boston, Mass. Okay.
Yep.
All right, we're going to do a 20-mile search radius around the city center of Boston. Obviously, that's because it's in the ocean. That's okay. Then I might do another property list that I might do is a vacant out-of-state owner, but I want them to have all of these criterias, meaning I own a property that I don't live in, and I don't even live in Massachusetts. Do you think you should leave a house sitting vacant in Massachusetts over winter?
No, definitely not.
No, no. So this is another great one. I like to add non-owner occupied too. So
Okay.
they're out-of-state owner, the house is vacant. They own a house they don't live in. So there's 245. Then I'm going to go here and say, you know what? I want all the single family homes, townhomes, condos, duplex, triplex, quads. I don't know if there's row houses in Massachusetts. I don't think so.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. Equity, you can choose equity or not. I don't know what type of investor that you're looking to be on the back end. Are you looking to wholesale?
Wholesale, just wholesaling.
Okay, then you want to have at least 35% equity or more, because
Okay.
that's where your profits are going to come in, is in that equity from when you get it under contract to where you assign it to an end buyer. Okay.
Okay.
Then I would show results. Here's your curated list of one list. I'm going to show you some more. I mean, there's tons of lists that you can pull in here. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to keep everything the same, but I'm going to change these things here. Okay.
Okay.
Also, another great list is tax
Yeah.
delinquents. So somebody that has been served a notice that, hello, you did not pay your local taxes, and we're gonna sell your house at a tax sale. You think they
Yeah.
need to sell their house?
Of course, definitely.
Absolutely. So on there, you've got 6 of those. That's another great list. You can also do just vacant properties. There's 3,212 vacant properties in that 20 miles around Boston, Massachusetts. You can stack things on top of each other, like is what I did earlier, where I said I want it to be all of these things. This is what I call stacking. I want it to be vacant and I want the owner to be out of state. Or I don't care if they're out of state. I just want them to be non-owner occupied. So I own a house that I don't live in, but it's sitting over there vacant. There's 1,535 of those in 20-mile search radius around the city center of Boston, Massachusetts. You could do, okay, I want it to have all these. I mean, you could add and take away. I want to show you guys something awesome. I've created what's called, I call them my easy buttons. Okay. So a lot of us will say like, oh man, I don't know what type of list to pull. Well, I've tried to make this easy for you on a couple of these. Let me start again, Boston, Mass. And maybe I'm looking for tired landlords. So with a tired landlord, it's curating this list for you just by pushing a button.
Okay.
Or maybe I'm looking for single family homes whose auctions are so many days away, things like that. So you can curate any type of list there, but what you want to think about is like, what would make somebody want to sell? What situation would they be in, right? Like that house we were looking at earlier, you know how it was deeded over from maybe the mom to the son is what it looked like just by the names. Just because I've been deeded a property from somebody does not mean I have the money to fix it up. Sometimes it can be a detriment to somebody to be left a house that needs work and you're like, I don't have the money to fix it up. That's where, you know, you guys come in. Come on, go ahead. Let's see. That help you, Donald?
A little bit. And during the trial, are there videos that tells you like what good list to pull and all that?
It's not going to tell you what good list to pull because it depends on what type of investor you are. So
Okay.
pre-foreclosures, I'm going to tell you yours. Pre-foreclosures, vacant, non-owner occupieds with 35% equity or more.
Okay. That's it.
Tax delinquents, tired landlords. That'll give you thousands of leads to work.
Now, let me write this down.
Okay.
You said
pre-foreclosures, vacant, non-owner occupied, both of those put together. Tired landlords, tax delinquents. That'll get you plenty good and started.
That's it.
Yes,
and with
sir.
35% equity.
Yeah, because you've got to have equity in your homes to make money.
So 35% equity, at least.
At least.
Okay, that's it?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'll be back next Thursday. And I never mind answering questions. Let's see, Cynthia. Cynthia, if you will, just unmute yourself.
Julie.
Okay.
So is this gonna be where I need to do the 7-day trial and then it's paid like $49.95? With that, you know, I got to restart or something. So is that the best way? Can you check to see what I need to do?
Yeah. Actually, if you look in the chat, do you see the chat? There's a link right there.
Okay.
You're going to click that link and then that's going to give you your free trial.
Okay, so because I need to restart over.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
I think that's what Rodney told me.
Okay, perfect.
Cause he told me they were saying that he couldn't find me accurate and has a partner. So he had to, he think I needed to restart.
Okay.
So I do the 7-day trial and then it'll be $49.95
Yes, ma'am.
for how many months?
7 days.
I mean, the $49.95 for how long?
It's every month.
Okay. Okay. So you gonna be my person that I'll be dealing with.
I'll be here every Thursday at 2 for DealDriven, or either one of the members of my team will be here, which is generally Barry.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but okay. So I just wanted to know because I need to know kind of get it up and so I can go back and get what I missed when we looked at what I missed this day.
Yeah, Cynthia, if you'll put your cell phone in the chat, I'll have Miss Chloe call you after this.
With the what now?
I will have Miss Chloe give you a call after this. If you will put your name, your phone number in the chat, I'll have somebody call you.
And then they'll kind of guide me to.
Yes, ma'am. We'll give you a better guide of what to do. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. All right. Basil again. Go ahead.
Oh shit.
To myself, yeah, I think you have already forwarded the information how to contact somebody or your number or anybody. So I think I'm sending my private number now on the to talk to somebody how to get started in full.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Patricia.
Sorry, I'm on my cell phone. Should we be looking for buyers first instead of looking for, houses first? Just to ensure that, we actually have a buyer.
That is a great question. So I'm just going to tell everybody what I believe what you're referring to is the act of wholesaling. So should you find a buyer before you start looking for properties?
Yes.
Right? Okay. Here's and people may have a different opinion. Here's my opinion about it. What does it matter if you've got buyers or not if you don't ever have a property?
Right.
So you see, to me, I would spend my time on something, the one thing that makes me money in this business, which is finding deals. When you find a deal, it's going to force you to go out and find buyers.
Okay.
So I would say, yeah, you want to do both of those, but I see people spending years trying to build a cash buyers database and they don't focus on getting deals. The problem with that is you don't make any money that way.
Okay.
Yeah. You will figure it out, especially when you got a deal, because then you actually have something to talk to a buyer about.
Okay.
Because you're not going to call me up as a buyer and be like, I'm just getting started. I'm like, okay, well, what property are you calling about? Well, I don't have a property yet. Well, see, then I would just push you off. No offense.
Okay. Gotcha.
But I'll tell you like it is every time, Patricia, because
okay,
to make money in this business, go out and find those deals. And when there's a will, there's a way. You'll make it happen.
All right. Sounds good.
Yes, yes. McNair.
Hey, I'm here.
Okay.
Let's say when you was talking about when you look up a piece of property, let's say I done did my skip trace, and when you said validation and equity, what's the difference between that?
So equity is the difference between what somebody owes in their property and what the property is worth. So let's say the property is worth 100,000. Let's say
validation.
Yeah, the valuation is 100,000. Let's say they owe $75,000. Okay. You would then have $25,000 in equity on that purchase, on that property.
Let's say I'm looking at one, it's like 116 val and equity 126.
Okay.
You need me to repeat that again?
Well, yeah, because your equity can't be higher than because the valuation is a guess.
I see a lot of property valuation is higher than the equity. Okay.
Well, that makes sense. That means they owe less than what the property's worth.
Well, I said the valve is 116 and the equity is 126.
So that would mean they don't owe anything. That'd
Oh,
be
okay.
100% equity. So
Oh, okay.
there should be a box over there that says percentage, and it should say 100%.
On this property,
Yes.
what will you see that at?
Well, how about you just give me the address?
Hold on 1 minute. 207 Lee Street, Biloxi, Mississippi. I'm just seeing how the validation and the equity work.
Oh, I understand. I'll tell you in just a minute. That way I'm looking at the same thing that you are, okay? All right.
Wish I would have got one with a home phone. But
No, it's okay. You'll get plenty. Do you see here how it says 100% equity?
oh, when you go look at the property.
Well, you'd have to look at the property to know that.
Okay.
I mean,
Hold on 1 minute.
you could see it on here. It's saying they've got 100% equity, which means they don't owe anything.
Where you see that at? Let me look at what you got here. Okay, where you seeing the 100% at? I'm right there. Where you at?
Right here. I've highlighted the screen.
Hold on, let me go back up. Come down a little bit. Oh, I see it. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so
Okay.
this one, they own this house free and clear. But it's sitting vacant and it's non-owner occupied and the owner's out of state. They live in California. You better call this one.
They don't have a number there.
Send them a letter.
Okay.
Send them a letter. All right.
Okay.
Well, guys,
Thank
I've
you.
really enjoyed spending time with you guys. We're here every Thursday. I will show you how to utilize the software for your real estate investing business, or if you have some real estate questions, I will give you my opinion. Obviously, it's subject to lots of things, but I'm here to help. It's always free. We here at DealDriven believe in giving back. If you aren't interested in our partner driven program, where we work with you and show you how to do deals on a daily basis and fund the deals with you, you are more than welcome to schedule a call with my team, Chloe. If you'll put that in the chat, you'll be able to schedule a call with one of my team members. If you're interested in becoming one of our partners at Partner Driven, which is aside from what you see here at DealDriven. We teach the same practices every day. But on behalf of DealDriven, thank you so much for being here. Be active on our social media pages. Come with questions all week long. As you're thinking about real estate and you've got questions, write them down. Don't be afraid to stump me on this call next Thursday. The more questions you ask, the more we will learn together. So have a blessed day. Bye-bye, everyone.